Ugh, tough crowd. And to think young fillies and colts were adorable. Yikes. So after a while, we're given another CMC episode, but instead of focusing on one of the major story arcs this season, we're back to the progression of the CMC's own motives. For the most part, that is. The episode deals with popularity issues, which is admittedly a good topic to tackle on, but it's done in a very clunky way. As the episode begins, the CMC are given challenges from Twilight as she mentions them in the library. Now this right here is a very nice direction for the CMC to take on, instead of looking for their own skills for the sake of getting a cutie mark as we've seen in the other episodes. But then the episode jumps to the next topic when Diamond discovers what's going on with the CMC, and she wants to get involved. She begs to join in, and the CMC of course accept her, and as usual she takes advantage of them once again. This time, instead of utterly teasing them like she used to in the past, she tries to be friends with the CMC. For the wrong reasons, of course.
Princess Twilight, it is such a thrill and honor to be here. You have no idea. Oh my gosh, who dyes your tail? I so have to get that done.
Actually, it's not dyed. I've always...
Are those books in there? What a bold design choice. You should so do that dye. I know, right?
Now, I didn't find this to be too big of an issue. Naturally, when it comes to popularity, they're always wanting to get involved. Still though, that doesn't make up for what Diamond did with Scootaloo in Flight to the Finish. Yeah, I'm gonna continue to hold on to that. Anyway, after she gets accepted, she spreads the word out and places the CMC on a high pedestal as they're ranked as high popularity.
Now, every pony. Demanding time with a princess as an unruly mob simply won't do. Might I suggest you get organized through us, the Cutie Mark Crusaders' nearest and dearest friends? Every pony gets line! No pushing! No pushing!
Sweetie Belle and the rest try to resort and manage everything by keeping their popularity status hidden from Twilight before it gets completely out of control. What bothers me is that with the topic at hand, it's very clunky and the pacing gets all over the place. On the one hand, they try to avoid any of Twilight's notions, but at the same time, there's no believable standpoint on how they feel being under the spotlight. The episode shifts back and forth on what they're trying to manage, and it overshadows what the topic was trying to tackle on. We do get a good glimpse of it as we see them attend at a lemonade stand and their so-called pool party at Diamond's house. Yeah, you tell that to your friends at the gate. But it moves by so fast, it hardly exists to me. It also disappoints me that there isn't much of their time spent with Twilight in order to progress their talents, mainly because of the forced plot. So neither of these two are tied correctly, and it overall feels like the episode has a huge lack of focus. I guess maybe Pipsqueak's second appearance where he talks about the wrong ways of getting popular could benefit the topic, but because of how procrastinated it gets, it feels like a disservice to the writing. Presumably, the CMC's interactions with Twilight may result in setting the CMC's progression for the series, and that's something to take for granted. But what pisses me off though is that it's constantly placed on the sidelines just for the sake of having a formulated plot for an episode. Same thing can be said with the many other seasonal arcs that are constantly placed on the sidelines until we get actual episodes based on their traits. The symbolic keys appear like the show doesn't give a shit, and the Equestrian Games only have 2 episodes about it thus far, and little to no explanation about it. Thankfully, there's a blueprint of the key box posted in the background, which only hints at us. It would be nice if it was more focused on that instead of, once again, placing it on the sidelines. But it's also nice to consider the devotions that Twilight has for the fillies according to the scene when she's at the diner.
When you first asked me to help you develop new skills, I thought, working with young students so devoted to the joy of learning purely for its own sake, what could be better? You all remind me of myself when I was your age.
There's a possible theory that with the restoration of the Sisters' Castle, Twilight could rule over it and have something in line for the young fillies. I could be overanalyzing this, but if this were the case, I would definitely be up for that, passing her knowledge to one another and encouraging it. As I'm diving into more of what I found enjoyable, it does have a lighthearted atmosphere to it, and it's sustainably lighthearted unlike the last episode, Philly Vanilli, when Pinkie made the episode occasionally mean-spirited to the deep ends of the earth. It's also worth mentioning that Pinkie is in this episode for a brief time, and thankfully she's not portrayed as a dick. In addition, we see her work as a waitress, potentially showing that she might have a secondary job instead of working at a bakery. Also, while some people found the diner to be random and out of place, I found it to be a nice welcome to world building in Ponyville instead of having large barn houses all the time. By the end, while the episode meanders, we see that the CMC develop their skills, and the episode opens up potentially for something later down the line. Sadly though, the episode feels too clunky and rushed, as if there had to be a topic to tackle on at hand, when really, the focus of the episode could have been about the CMC's skills and the progression of looking up to others for suggestions. I still like the episode nonetheless, but there could have been much more to organize and properly lay out. Hell, it would have been nice just to see the two split into individual episodes. By then, I would appreciate it more. But beggars can't be choosers. So until next time, this is Golden Fox, and I'll catch you all later.